2016 presidential candidate, Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Carson, what is your reaction to this mysterious reluctance and resistance to say the words radical Islam? Why is that so hard?
I believe it's the loss of common sense. People are so caught up in their political correctness that they lose control of rational thinking. And unfortunately, this is exactly what the radical Islamists want. The Memorandum of Understanding that was uncovered during the Holy Land Foundation trial, they found this memorandum, and it talked about civilization jihad, how they would be able to take over here, and they would use our political correctness against us. It really is quite silly, and it seems like all we have to do is look at Europe, look at France, look at Germany. Can we learn from their mistakes, or do we have to make the same mistakes over again? It really is just maddening how we've completely lost our senses. And this whole thing about profiling, forget about the label. People are so concerned about the label. If you know there's a mass murderer who's 7 feet tall and has green eyes, and you're in a room full of people, which ones are you going to look for? You're going to look for the tall ones with green eyes. Doesn't mean that every tall one with green eyes is the one, but certainly that's the group that you need to be concentrating on. That's common sense.
Dr. Carson, we're 50 days away from Election Day, tonight, 50 days. So I view this as one of the biggest choice elections. Number one, Supreme Court. It'll impact this country for generations. Extreme vetting or no vetting. A wall, as Trump wants, or a bridge in what Hillary wants. Saying radical Islam, not being able to say it. Obamacare, eliminate it, repeal it, replace it, or keep it. On so many big issues, education, energy independence.
Absolutely.
These are deep and profound differences between these two candidates. What do you say to those Republicans that have been sabotaging and undermining Donald Trump, and I would argue helping Hillary Clinton in the process?
I would say to them, this is not going to be a 4 or an 8-year issue. You think that we can just blow through this and Hillary will be okay because she's a known quantity. Wrong. The problem here is that when you get the federal court system and the Supreme Court in the hands of those radicals, it will be there for a generation or two, and the United States will never be the same again.
I don't know if we recover.
That's what they need to understand.
Economic policy, raising taxes, cutting taxes, energy independence, education back to the states, or top-down Common Core from Washington, supported by the NAA.
Absolutely.
It's deep and profound.
And it's not a Republican or Democrat issue. This is an American issue. People have got to get beyond that because we're talking about our children.
Are we going to see you in Ohio, in Cleveland on Wednesday for our town hall with Mr. Trump?
I will be there.
All right, we'll see you there. Dr. Carson, thank you.
Okay.
And coming up next tonight, we'll give you details on that town hall in a few minutes, but up next on Hannity.
We want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally through a process, and we need extreme screening.
After a wave of terror attacks right here on U.S. soil, Donald Trump is calling